Andrew, hey man, congratulations. This game came down to defense, especially in the second half and overtime. What did y'all talk about? The importance of keeping on them on the perimeter and not letting them have open looks.
No, the talking at halftime was to be more aggressive. Kansas came out playing really aggressive, with a sense of urgency early in the game, and coach was really on us about matching their intensity and really locking up on defensive end so, we can get out in transition to play our brand of basketball.
And real quick, just what did you think of the way that Jericho played on McCormick? Jericho's been playing big these last few games, but especially tonight.
McCormick has been, playing really well over the course of the last couple of games, and it was a big challenge for Jericho to, go out there, hold his own against them, and dominate the paint. And I feel like he did a good job guarding McCormick, making it very difficult and tough on him at times. And I feel like Jericho was a big part of us winning today.
Dustin, go ahead.
Andrew, I know you probably didn't shoot the ball as well as you'd like to, but how much, pride do you take in get to the foul line, rebounding, some defense down the stretch? You were able to really impact the game, it seemed, even on a night when your shot wasn't falling.
Yeah, I try not to be a one-trick pony. I know that over the course of the conference tournament, my scoring has been a weapon, but, I want to be able to do more when, my shot's not falling or, offensively is not going well for me. So Coach KT really got on me about rebounding the ball and taking a big step defensively. So I had a sense of urgency of rebounding and, getting the ball back for us, before we can get out in transition.
Obviously, the season's not over after this one, but how big is this one considering the way the West Virginia game played out and the way this first half played out? And for some of these guys, this was their last home game.
We made a big step. We wanted to play out there for the seniors. We wanted to go out there and give it our all for them and their last home game on a good note. So I feel like we did a good job doing that. It was a major step defensively for us. The last overtime game we lost. So I feel like we took a big step and then showed our maturity.
Kirk, go ahead.
Yeah, AJ, speaking to the how big that game was, you've got a lot of road games coming up. How critical was it before, holding home court advantage and just what does sweeping Kansas say?
It's a great morale booster. I don't think Texas has ever done that in history. And, we want to continue to write our own story. Want to continue to pave our own way, our own destiny, and leave our own, legacy here with this group. So we're going to continue to try to get better, use this as momentum moving forward, and just try to continue to get better.
And it seemed like Greg Brown really came out, gave you some critical energy and spark right at the start of the second half.
Yeah, he's doing.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Greg is continuing to learn the game and continue to improve each and every day. So as long as he continues to play his brand of basketball, stay confident, and be himself, everything for him is going to take care of itself.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm sure you guys weren't happy with the way that you played in the first half, especially defensively. Looked like y'all really, put more effort and intensity on that side in the second half. What was the conversation at halftime? And, what changed? Was it just your demeanor? It looked like y'all were a lot more locked in than you were in that first 20 minutes.
Second half, we really took ownership. We self-reflected on how we were playing and what we really wanted this outcome of the game to be. And I felt like in that second half, we got together. We knew they made a run, but the basketball is the games of runs. So, we know that coming out second half, we had to start off strong defensively, and that had to be our mindset the entire game, regardless of how we shoot. So I feel like we took a major step of that, exceeding their, aggression, and, it worked out good for us.
I know, they could still come back because the eligibility of the NCAA granted, but, if this is your last home game with these guys, what's it mean to go out, being the first team to sweep Kansas with, Matt, Jericho, Jace, all those dudes?
It feels great. It's a great morale booster. This is my first time. I've been here probably longer than everybody on this team. So it feels good to finally do something and see, the improvement that we make each and every day.
Got time for a couple more questions. CJ, go ahead.
Andrew, is this the way you guys played in the second half defensively? Is that the way you guys need to play going forward? And how much did what happened on Saturday serve as just a motivating factor for you and for your team defensively?
Yeah, that's pretty much the goal moving forward. If we can continue to put two halves like that together, I feel like we're a really hard team to, go up against. Early in the season, we were very locked in defensively. And as the season wore on and the stoppages, we kind of lost our identity. So as we continue to get back in the flow of things, continue to practice our brand of basketball, our defensive intensities continue to ramp up.
How big was it for you two to get to make a defensive play, real alert defensive play in that overtime on the David McCormick feed where you came in from behind?
It was in the scouting report. I missed it probably like twice earlier in the game where I was there, but I got my hand on it, but it wasn't enough. And I knew the scouting report. I honored it, and I knew eventually if I get there and time it right. Coach Barry told me I was slightly late in the previous times before, so I decided to go a little earlier, and that was a great momentum booster. It wasn't and one, but hey, we won.
Last one, Cedric, go ahead.
Yeah, Andrew, I know it's been a tough stretch for you guys these last 3 weeks with the COVID issues and Coach Smart missing a game. But how can a win like this galvanize your locker room and get you ready for a tough stretch?
It's always good to win against a top 25 team, a really good team. And also, it's also good to beat a team twice in conference. It makes a big difference, on the resume, and a big difference, for the morale in the locker room. So this was an important win. We're going to learn from it. I know there's a lot of things we need to do better defensively early on, and then offensively, we need to continue to stay confident and make shots. So moving forward, I feel like this will be a good test for us because, the games are not going to get easier. So as long as we get comfortable being in this hostile environment, I feel like we're going to be good.
Well, you got a big one coming up in Lubbock this weekend. What kind of problems does Texas Tech present, and how tough is that going to be, especially with crowds, and that if they have crowd in that beehive at Lubbock?
We're probably going to worry about them on Thursday when it's time to, really lock in on them. We're going to enjoy this moment right now, this win, and then moving forward, we know what we got to do. Play defense, lock up, and do what we have to do.
Hey, Matt, you had a lot of success against their ice coverage. What was kind of the plan going up against that? It seemed like you were able to get baseline a lot.
Man, anytime the left hand side, just trying to beat the big, attack the big, and if I could get a step on him, get around him, I knew I was able to make a play.
Bob, go ahead.
Matt, when you guys were down 11 early in the second half, you really seemed to step up and bring a lot of energy and a lot of intensity. Did you feel that in that moment early in that second half, that was kind of a critical moment to really, you guys really needed to turn things around down 11?
Yeah, I just felt my joy, and just my presence, just take another step, and then it just was able to get us going, and then we just fed off each other energy.
Dustin, you're up.
Matt, you pride yourself on being a leader, and this was a pivotal one for you guys considering the way West Virginia went. How much did this mean to you personally, considering this could be your last home game at Texas, to be able to get a regular season sweep against Kansas, getting back on track?
It means a lot, just being the first team ever to sweep Texas. Sweep Kansas. It being senior night, just coming off from a loss, just getting back in the win column. A lot of variables that played a factor for tonight. It just feels good to win.
Kirk, go ahead.
Matt, did it almost feel like NCAA tournament caliber type of game since we're, breathing down on March right now?
It feels like Big 12 conference games. It's a gauntlet, every night. Every night.
And what did Coach Smart say after the game?
And it was just he was just excited that we just showed a lot of fight. Being down 14, and just we showed a lot of fight, like I said, playing unselfish, and it was just exciting for him to watch and coach.
Thanks.
Brian, go ahead.
Matt, just the defensive intensity that you guys showed down the stretch. I have you guys 1 for 9 finishing regulation, but still y'all are in it because you're playing D. Just how important was that the whole night, and especially down the stretch?
Very important. We weren't ourselves in the first half, identity-wise. That's why we were down 14. They were outplaying us, playing harder than us. We were turning the ball over, and that's why the score reflected of how it was. And we just came in at halftime. We knew we just had to be better, get back to being ourselves, our identity, and it put us in the best chance, to win at the end of the game, and then to carry it over in overtime and just get a win.
Cedric, go ahead.
Yeah, man. It's going to always be you, Courtney, and Andrew and Jericho leading the way, but the energy of Kai Jones and Brock Cunningham
was off the charts tonight.
It was crazy. How big was that for you guys?
Man, it was everything. They put us in the game just with like Brock's extra, possessions, getting his hands on balls, diving on the floor, him just being him. We needed that, and then Kai just being able to run the floor and just be himself, show like what he can do. It allowed us to just feed off each other and allow more guys to showcase their skills.
Last one, Gus, go ahead.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, I just want to ask a quick question. This Kansas had some miscues in the second half, and you guys seemed to really take advantage. You think that was defense from you guys? It seemed like you put a lot of pressure defensively in the second half on Kansas.
I think to start the game, probably like the first 4 minutes, I think we started at a high level, playing with pace on both ends of the floor. Then we got away from it. And then the second half, I think we just took pride in it, and we wanted to win, so we knew that's what we had to do.
Yeah, and then also, what does this mean for the Texas program for you guys to get this, one of the bigger wins in program, program history the last couple of years?
It means a lot, man. Being able to be a part of history, and now we just want to continue to make more history as we move forward in the rest of the season.
Hey, Jericho, the last 3 games, your defense on Kevin Samuel, Derek Culver, and now McCormick tonight, is this the best you have felt defensively maybe in a long, long time?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, even though I'm doing a pretty good job on those guys, they get it a lot. So it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a physical matchup in there. Despite the foul trouble, I think that I'm just doing a good job of, forcing them out. That's the biggest thing, just force them out there, so it makes it harder for them to score.
Kirk, go ahead.
Jericho, y'all lost a bunch of home games that are really tight, Oklahoma, Tech, West Virginia. Can you tell me how important this was to the psyche of this team, as we're going into March and next week?
Well, first of all, this is the first time that Texas team has really swept Kansas, 2 games, and it's good to just have that in the back of our mind going into these last games here. We're going to be on the road, and I think we showed a lot of fight in this game, so that translates to really going and getting road wins for us.
Dustin, go ahead.
Jericho, you guys have been through a lot these last couple months with COVID and then the winter storm and everything else. Just what did it feel for you to win this game this way, knowing how the West Virginia game ended, and also too being able to have a moment with your family after the game?
Yeah, it means a lot because we're gonna remember this, even when we're all done playing at the end of our career. So, just we gotta continue this path that we're on, just getting more wins for us, so we can put ourselves in the best position.